The ultimate reality of death can be one of the hardest parts of owning a dog, but learning these 12 crucial signs can help you support and comfort them throughout this difficult period. One of the early signs you need to be aware of is loss of appetite. If your old dog isn't asking you for extra treats after dinner, or is unable to even finish their daily food, there's a good reason to think that something is wrong. A sharp increase or decrease in food that your dog eats could be a sign of life-threatening illnesses or stomach problems. Some dogs may even stop eating altogether when they are close to the end of their life, so keep an eye out for this. However, let's go over one of the saddest signs that your dog is dying: major changes to their skin. During their final days, your dog's skin may completely dry out, and they will lose much of their hair. The hair that remains might also lose its shine and color. Most often, this is due to their appetite changes, as a lot of times dogs may refuse to drink any water during their final days, which causes their body to dehydrate and lose their color. It also causes their gums, lips, and other soft membrane parts of their body to look extremely pale. Unfortunately, that's not the only thing your dog has to deal with in their old age, as a lot of dogs may also experience this next sign: weight loss. As they reach the end of their life, dogs often suffer from a lot of stomach issues, which make eating and drinking extremely painful for them. This sometimes causes them to stop eating completely, which leads to severe weight loss. This loss can be gradual, where your dog eats less and less as the days go by, or it can be extremely sudden, where your dog just stops eating one day. However, it is made even worse by this next thing that most dogs experience: inconsistent peeing. Your dog being unable to control their bladder and having to poop or pee without notice is a very sad fate that awaits most dogs in their old age. It's sadly one of the biggest signals that your pup may be nearing its end. Something to keep in mind here is that it's not just mischievous dogs that show these symptoms. Even the most well-trained dogs will have to deal with these issues, so make sure to show sympathy and care, even when huge messes occur. The next sign is something that all dog owners should be worried about, but before we get into it, please consider subscribing to our channel for more educational dog videos like this one. Anyways, moving on to the next sign you should keep an eye on: gum color changes. Gums are quite literally the way to your dog's good health. If something in your canine's body is not working as it should be, their gums will often change color. For example, if your dog's gums turn to a bluish color, that could mean that there is not enough oxygen in their bloodstream. White and pale gums are often a sign of insufficient blood, and might mean that they have some internal injury in their body. Extremely red gums could be a sign of heat stroke in many older dogs. If you notice this, we highly encourage you get it checked with a vet. Same goes for the next sign on this list: changes in body temperature. Dogs often lose the ability to control their body temperatures as they grow older in age. This can cause many problems in your pet, as they might have heat stroke, where their body overheats due to being unable to cool themselves down fast enough. Other dogs might have a lower body temperature and blood pressure, especially when they are close to death. But one of the key signs that your dog may not have a lot of time left: twitching. Similar to how it is for humans, your dogs often lose control of many of their muscles as they get older in age. The thing to keep in mind is that twitching is not bad by itself, as sometimes your pup may twitch for no reason at all. It could also be a sign of other problems, such as an illness, dehydration, or pain. Either way, if your dog is twitching for long periods of time, and they show a lot of stress afterwards, it might be time to talk with a professional about the matter. And the same is true for the next sign that your dog is not doing well: not wanting to go outside. If your dog has stopped playing with all his favorite toys and doesn't plead with you to go outside anymore, then you need to worry. As dogs approach the end of their lifespan, they lose interest in the world around them and sort of retreat into their own shell. This is one of the most obvious and heartbreaking signs of your dog's old age, and unfortunately, this is one of the most common symptoms on this list. Nevertheless, this next sign is one of the most noticeable and awful: depression. Dogs that are dying will often experience many of the symptoms of depression. This could include everything from eating less, not playing with their favorite toys, changing their sleep patterns, and overall just being a lot more withdrawn. It's a very sad thing. However, the comforting thing to know here is that these changes are not because your dog knows that he is dying. In reality, these behaviors are just because he doesn't feel too well. You should also keep in mind that many of the signs we discuss in this video could also be due to some illness that can be easily treated. So it is always better to consult an expert before jumping to conclusions. Unfortunately, this next thing is a clear sign your pup is in pain: odd breathing. When your dog is on their deathbed, most of their body functions completely break down. This also includes stuff like heart and lungs, which are necessary for helping them breathe properly. Your dog may start to breathe very fast or very slow as a result, and might even alternate between normal and labored breathing. This is one of the last signs to develop when your dog is dying, and it is best to comfort them and be with them during this time. But moving on, let's discuss one of the worst fears of every dog owner: a slow heartbeat. A slow heartbeat that you can barely pick up on is one of the biggest signs that your dog is nearing their end. The best way to check their heartbeat is by placing 2 fingers over the femoral artery, or the left side of the dog's chest just below the elbow. You count the number of beats that occur in 15 seconds and then multiply it by 4 to get the beats per minute. If your dog's heartbeat continues to gradually slow down as time goes by, it often indicates that their situation is getting worse. However, you can always comfort your dog during this time, especially when your dog does this next thing: seeking comfort. When your dog is dying, they often do one of 2 things. Naturally, they never want to worry you or make you sad, so they may try to hide their illness from you so that you don't get upset. If they're hiding in places they hated before, then it's a huge sign something is wrong. But some dogs may do the opposite of that and instead get even more clingy than usual because they want love and comfort in their painful time. This is your chance to make them feel better and consolidate them during this difficult period. Hopefully you found this helpful and comforting. I know the loss of a pet is hard, so if you are in that situation, I highly encourage you to check out the r/petloss community on Reddit. It has helped many others to get emotional support. If you want to learn more about dogs, you can check out our video about the 50 dog facts you need to know. See you there!